your page, it says find the LCM using prime factorization method. Does that look right to you? August, does that look right to you? This problem?
Yes, it
Okay.
does.
Okay, so start with 6, and you're building a factor ladder. So you start with 2. 2 goes into 6 3 times, and then 3, and then 1. And you do the same thing for the other number, 14. Always starting with 2. So in this case, you've got 2. Okay. And then you can choose either one to start with. Okay, I'm gonna start with the 6, but whatever the 6 is, you need those numbers, the 2 and the 3. Okay, and then you go to the next number, which has got a 2 and a 7, and you see, well, like, do I already have a 2? Yes, you've already got a 2, so you don't need to add another 2. But do you have a 7? No, so you add that there. So that's 2 times 3 times 7. Can you tell me what that multiplies to?
It would multiply to 6. It would multiply to 42.
42, very good. And that's your answer.
Okay.
All right, now let's go to number 3. Number 3 is just 3 numbers instead of 2. It's the same process though. We're going to do them one at a time. Snip that in. 5, 6, and 10. All right, so start with 5. 5 is just 5 because it's a prime number. 6, we've just built its factor tree in the previous problem, so it's 2 and 3, or factor ladder, sorry. And then 10's new. Always start with 2.
It's 2 and 5.
That's right. Now you start with, it doesn't really matter which one you start with, but let's start with the smallest one. We'll start with the 5. So we know we need a 5, okay? And then you go to the next number and you're like, well, do I already have a 2 and a 3? It's like, nope. So you need to add those in, 2 and then a 3. Then you go to the next one. It's got a 2 and a 5 in it, but you've already got a 2 and a 5. So you do not have to add any numbers.
Yeah.
So that's 30. Any questions on that?
No.
All right, let's move to number 6.
And I did this one on my own, and I don't think it's right, but
Well, let's just work it out together. We got plenty of time here.
okay. Well, the answer I got was 11 over 12, but I don't think that's right.
Well, it might be. Don't be so hard on yourself. You might have gotten it correct. So we're gonna do the same thing with the LCM. So with 4 LCM, build our factor ladder, 2 and 2. And then we do the same thing with 6. Build
3
that,
or 2 and 3.
yes. Okay. Now you start with a smaller number. You're going to have a 2 times a 2 for the first one. And then when you look at the second one, you've already got a 2, but you need to add a
3.
That's right.
So it's 2 times 2 times 3, which is 12.
Very good. So that's the bottom number, your denominator of your fractions.
So I got the bottom number right. But then the top number is where I got confused.
So how do you go from the 4 to the 12? What do you multiply by?
Times 3.
Times 3. So you multiply that top number by 3.
Okay. So 3 times 3 is 9.
And then how do you go from 6 to 12?
Multiply it by 2.
Okay. So you multiply that top number by 2.
Okay. So 9 plus 2 is 11. So I got it right.
Yes, you got it right. Very good. All right, so I think I know we did 7, 8, and 9.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if we did.
We did not do 12.
Okay. So let's look at 12. All right, 6 2/3 minus 1 3/4. All right, now this one's more difficult because you first have to look at the 2/3 and the 3/4.
Yeah.
If you were to subtract those, and we just found out the common denominator, well, I'm going to give it to you. Let's just say it's 12 here. To go from 3 to 12, you multiply by 4. To go from 2, you have to multiply by 8. Do you see that?
Yeah.
And then to go from the 4 on the right to 12, that's times 3. 3, that's 9. Okay. So do you see how we've got
Yeah.
smaller number here? So that's the first problem. All right. So sometimes in classrooms, they show them kind of lined up like this vertically. So we basically need to borrow from the 6. It's kind of a borrowing thing. So we're gonna take that 6 and it's gonna become 5 plus 1. Okay, and you're like, well, why would we do that? Well, let's just look at the numerator here, or this top stuff. So it's really now 5 plus 1 plus 2/3. Do you see that?
Yeah.
So we can actually combine these fractions, okay? Because one can become 3/3 because we want to match the denominator on the right plus 2/3. Do you see that?
Yeah.
So what does that become? What's the result?
That would
when you add
become 5/3.
5/3. Very good. Okay, now here's the summary. The summary is that instead of writing 5 plus 1 plus 2/3, we're going to write 5 plus 5/3, or 5 5/3 minus 1 3/4. So now we've got to come off to the side here and work on this 5/3 minus 3/4. Okay, will you do that part for us, please? Let me know if you got any questions.
It'd become 1/12.
Okay, tell me how you came up with that. What's the common denominator?
Common denominator is 12.
Okay, and what goes on the top
The top
left
would
here?
be an 8.
How did you get 8 from 5?
Well, wait, never mind then.
Yeah, so from 3 to 12, you're multiplying by 4.
Oh yeah, so 3 to 12, you're multiplying by 4, so then you multiply that by 4, which is 20.
Yes.
And then you're going to get from 4 to 12, you multiply by 3, and that's 9.
Yes.
So then that would be 20 minus 9, which is 11.
11 over 12.
Over 12.
Good. So that's the part in blue. Okay. We still have to do that part in black here on the left. All right. So that's 4 and then 11 over 12.
Okay. All right.
All right. Any questions on that?
No.
We'll do some more of those if time permits. I know those are probably the most awkward on this
Yeah.
grouping. The last page we did not get to, but it is something that you do know how to do. We've done these before, but let's review real quick.
Okay.
We'll go to number 2 first.
Yeah.
Okay, perimeter. Perimeter is going all the way around, way around.
Would you add them all up?
Yep. And then you make sure your answer has units of centimeters in it.
Okay, so then you'd add them on. So 6 plus 8 plus 10, 8 plus 10, 18 plus 6 is 24.
24
Centimeters.
centimeters. Very good. Now the area of a triangle is a bit more difficult. It's the base times the height divided by 2.
Okay, so base, which is 8 centimeters, to the height, which is 6 centimeters. So 8 times 6. 48
Divided by 2.
divided by 2, 24 squared. Would it be
It'd be
24
24 centimeters squared. Good.
centimeters squared? So
All right.
it's interesting. The perimeter and area are both 24 centimeters.
Yeah, that does occasionally happen. But because the units aren't the same, they're actually very much unrelated, even though it might seem like they're.
Okay,
So here's a problem. Here's a problem just like it. I want you to try this one on your own, perimeter and area.
Okay.
Let me know what you come up with.
I got 34 inches and 50 inches square.
Very good. Okay, so let's go take a look at number 3.
Okay. So 18 plus 6.
Yeah, and if you need to, you can write in the
24.
other 24 feet.
24 feet.
The area
24 is kind of a theme here.
Area is base times height in this problem.
So it's 9 times 3, which is 27.
Yes.
Uh,
27. What are the units here?
Feet square.
Very good.
24 is kind of a theme here.
Yeah. I mean, they're unrelated, but you might say, wow, why are they all the same? Okay, go ahead and try this one on your own. Imagine I'm only giving you credit for completely right answers, so make sure your units are
Okay.
all there.
Is this kilometers or kilometers?
Either one.
Okay.
It's like potato, tomato,
Okay.
tomato. I'm not sure. There's, our language isn't
Okay.
always the best for that. Ask mom. See what she has to say.
Okay. $30 kilometers and 54 kilometers square.
50 what? What did you say?
54.
Should be 56.
Oh, 56. Okay. 56.
Yeah. That's maybe just a small thing there from not being around stuff. Okay. So 4 is maybe the most difficult because there's some information that you need that is it's not as straightforward as the other triangle problems, but the perimeter is only walking around. Imagine you're standing in one position, you're walking all the way.
So it's gonna be 8 plus 5 plus 5, so 10 plus 8, 18 meters.
Good. The area is still base times height divided by 2.
8 times 3 divided by 2.
Yes. And there's your answer. Any questions on that before we go back and do some more mixed number stuff?
No.
All right, so let's do a problem here. Let's say I want you to do like 12 1/6 minus 4 3/8. Let me just double check that. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So what you should notice, somehow you've got to notice that 1/6 is less than 3/8. And I'm not sure how you know that. I don't know that that's all that easy to know. It's related to the fraction comparison stuff that we've talked about, but if you were to try and subtract them, you would see that this one on the left becomes smaller than the one on the right. How would you know that though? I'm trying to think if you would know that.
Well, I guess 6 is smaller than 8.
You can't do that.
Yeah,
Good try. Good try. Let's do this. Let's find the LCM. I want you to find the LCM between 6 and 8, please. 6 and 8.
Yeah. $12.
It can't be 12. Here's why, because 8 does not go into 12. So what for 6, did you build your factor ladder?
Yeah. I
Did you get
put
2 and
3? Yeah.
Okay.
2 and 3.
And then for 8, it's 2.
2 or 2, 4 or 2, 2, 2. Yeah.
Okay, so notice that you already have one of the 2s there, so you've got to add 2 more.
Oh, so it's 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. I just did 2 times 2 times 3.
Yes.
Okay, so 24.
24, yes. Okay. So when you write over 24 like this, give me the top numbers.
It would be 9 for 8 one, and for the 6 one, it would be 4.
4, good. Now this is where you should see that the 4 is smaller than the 9, so this is a problem.
Yeah.
Okay, now what to do? And this is where you have to borrow from the 12. Okay, so you're basically borrowing run 1 from this 12. So it becomes 11 plus 1 and 1/6 minus 4 and 3/8 here, like that. Okay, now this 1 we're going to pair with the 1 and 1/6 up here. Make that 1 and 1/6. So what that does is you have to add now. You're basically adding 6 over 6, but because we already have the common denominator, we'll make it 24 over 24.
Okay. So then 24. Okay. Adding up. So it's a whole. So 24 is a whole.
Yeah, so the it changes now to being instead of 4 over 24 minus 9 over 24, it becomes these two become 28 over 24 minus 9 over 24.
So that's 20. Sorry, that's 19 over 24. 19 over 24.
Exactly. Yep. And so that's like everything we just did there is this part. And everything we kind of did right there is that.
Okay.
And so you've got the 19 over 24, but you still have to take the 11 and subtract the 4.
Okay. So that would be so it'd just be 11 minus 4 is 7.
Yep.
Okay. So then it'd be 7 over 19 over 24.
Yes.
7 and 19 over 24. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Any questions on that?
No.
Let's do final problem here. Let's find the LCM of 6 and well, I've already done that one. Let's do 6 and 5. Just have you do that one real quick.
Okay. $30.
It is 30. Very good. All
Which
right.
is 6 times 5. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So sometimes it is those numbers. We'll try and get more into that in future lesson here. But I think we got everything done on your past assignment there today. So good job.